Hi and welcome back to my channel. Remember last episode we put this together? I've got so much bling out on my table that I want to add to this. This is my blinged up junk journal cover, and I've just spent a little bit of time gathering all my blingy bits and pieces to add to this awesome cover. Right, so I'm going to have a little look in here. I grabbed this down out of my shelf, and there's some awesome big pieces in here, but I think they're going to be too big. These were in a recent ThriftshopCrafter haul, and they're all beautiful applique sparkly bits. But I might grab some of this out of here. I'm sort of just targeting all the sparkly things, of course, and I might grab that out. That could look beautiful on it. And then there's other little bits and pieces in here. There's all sorts of bits and pieces in here. These are all sourced from the Opshop. And look what's in this one. Let's have a look. I'm gonna put that in a better bag, I think. And look at these. Look at them, aren't they just gorgeous? They're probably a little bit big, those bits. There's flower bits, but I've got some flower bits already out. I just wanted to have a look in some of these bags. See, look at all these. Aren't they just gorgeous? All this stuff was sourced from the op shops. I think I got these off Temu, these big leaves. Aren't they beautiful? You could add bling to stuff like this, but it doesn't have to start with bling. You could add it to it. All these bits that I've found too, oh, they're just gorgeous. And this is just the perfect project to add all these blingy bits. Look at this spectacular moon. I'm gonna put that on the front of a junk journal one day. I did a an owl junk journal, and I beaded a little moon on that, and that was pretty too. Look at the starfish that I found. Oh gosh, I've been so lucky to find so many beautiful things. Absolutely beautiful. So I'll just, like I said, I'll just pick out. I've got a lot of applique flowers and things in there. Where's that? Oh, that's a sparkly flower. I'll get that out. Here's another sparkly one too. Look at that. Gorgeous. What else is in there that sparkles? I think it's mainly fabric ones in here. There's this closure. That could look cool on there. What else is sparkly? Oh, I think that's all that's sparkly in there. Mainly all fabric stuff. There's another one of them. I'll grab that out. So we'll put them back, and I can sort of take a few things off the table. So I can take that off the table. Right, there's some things we found out of that box. I've got things over here too. Look at this that I found. I don't know where I'd put that, but on it, I think it'd only be good for a spine. But that's just magnificent, that is. So I'll just sit that to the side. Where did the other flower go? Alright, we found those bits. They were bits that June gave me. We've got some bits off the fabric that June gave me, which would look really cool. I've got some sparkly rickrack. Look at this sparkle. You know, these sorts of motifs you can take apart as well. I've got some sparkly bows. There's another sparkle bit off that fabric. And then I've got all sorts of bits and pieces too, you know, like braid and stuff. So there's braid. There's some sparkly green braid. Look at that. All this is all found from the Opshop. All this old stuff, and I've also got June's little motifs too that she gave me. And look at that one. That one's cool with the beads on it. I found a little flower which was quite sparkly. Other little flowers. This leaf I recently just found at the Opshop. I'm going to use that. I've got June's little dangle that she gave me. I'm going to put that on the junk journal as well. I found this piece too out of somewhere in my stash, so I'm just going to push them aside. Now I'll show you some of the braids that I have. I got all my rick-rack down and gimp braid. So there's this sparkly one. There's ones like this, which is so pretty. And there was this sparkly one. Look how pretty that is. Oh, there's some more of that. There's a piece of this gorgeous lace. Now I found this was a dress and it's green with just glitter all through it, so we can cut off pieces of that. I've also got in here little bits of, look at this old piece of lace. This is just stunning, and it's got gold in it, so that's awesome. I got all this from the Opshop too, just in little scrap bags, you know. So I'll get a small piece out of that. Actually, I've already got some cut out. I'll just grab them out. I think that's, oh yeah, there's a little bit more in there, so I'll just grab those bits out. And I'll just put on the ground what I don't think I'll use. I've got little sparkly bits in here. Look at this stuff. How pretty is that? That's pretty. And this is gorgeous. Look at this. Another big piece of green, like you could cut just the flower off there. So I'll put that aside. And oh, there's another piece of that in there. Let's cut a little piece off that. Just to use for something. And I'll be able to put that bag down then. What else? I've got ribbon and not ribbon. I've got all sorts of braids in here. Not braids, fibers. All sorts of fibers. All sorts of pretty fibers. Look at this one that I found. Look at this one. I've got the bigger roll in another container, but I just put just little bits in that I can just grab out and use. There's some nice shiny bits. There's shiny bits here. So I might just leave all those things in there. I don't want to get it all out. There's this braid that I found just recently too, which is pretty cool. And these two braids I found recently. There's some more gimp braid, just a little one. There's stuff like this too I got from Witchcraft You Do. They had a sale on, and I got some really cool sort of dangly stuff from there. I don't know whether I'll use that. It's quite big, but I like it. There's also like stuff like this, you know, your fibers that have got glittery, shiny stuff in it, and then string like this. So I've got a whole pack of, where is it? Where did I put it? Right here. I've got a whole box of threads and string and stuff that is shiny. So you've got all this sort of stuff. Oh, that's the bigger one there to it. All this awesome that you can get secondhand. It's called beads yarn, and you can put that down and couch it down. It looks like and feels like little beads. So I've got a bit of that. I've got gold and white, green, blue and silver in that. look at this thread, that is beautiful. So I've got a lot of threads that are, this one's a multicolored one, threads that are shiny. I've got shiny buttons. There's more shiny bits of thread in there too that I can source. What's in this one? Oh yeah, there's a bit of shiny lace, some lacy stuff. Let's get a piece of that out. You never know what I'll use it for. I think that was all that was shiny in that one. Oh, there's something hiding under here. What is it? Ooh, look at this one. I found this at the Opshop. Look how gorgeous it is. Isn't that gorgeous? So let's cut off some flowers off that. I've used this on other projects and it's absolutely stunning. Look at it. So that should be somewhere else. I don't know what that's doing in there, but anyway, we will source that. And then I have, oh, here's another bag with some bits and pieces in it. It's a piece of fabric with some gorgeous bling on it. I'll put that aside. And there's a piece of black, but I don't think I'll put that on it. I can also source all the fabric that I didn't put on this to make little yo-yo flowers and things like that. Yeah. Oh gosh, I'd forgotten all about these. Isn't that gorgeous trim? So you could just cut just a piece off and then just make sure that when you do cut it, where's my glue, that you just glue off the end so that nothing goes flying off. You just cut it in between and then put your glue on so that it just seals up where you've cut so nothing else comes amiss. And then you can just use bits and pieces. Right, so I'll put that there and let it dry. I've got some of this stuff out. My sister-in-law gave me that. Look at this motif, isn't it gorgeous? Oh, so much bling, so much. And then in here I found a whole bag of, oh look at this, look at that braid, that gimp braid is just stunning. We'll have to leave that out. And then this probably mightn't suit her. This sort of speaks 70s to me, that, so we mightn't use that. So does that. So, but all this what do you call it, sequin trim, I'm going to leave that out. And then I've got all these other, you know, dangly bits and pieces in there too, which all have dangles off them. I found all them from the Opshops, all sorts. And I've got these sequin trims too. I think I got them from BB Craft. So we will source some of that, and I'll put the box over here. Well, so there's a lot to choose from on the table. Right, I'll just sit some of those threads over there. Now, okay, I've also got my bling box here, so let's have a look what's in there. There's so many goodies in here. Look at that I found from the Opshop. Oh, just all these sorts of things. Look at the little sequin flowers. Oh, it's just everywhere. There's all these little brooch things. I'm pretty sure I got them off Temu, but, and then look at these old necklaces I found at the Opshop. Look at them. Look at those. Just stunning. And then I've got all this sort of stuff. See? All this sort of trim. I've got all these sew-on jewels. They could go on. There's a blingy little crocheted butterfly. What else? Let's have a look in the next layer, I think. Yeah, what's in this layer? Oh no, we won't use any of that. Let's have a look in the next layer. I've got some bling in the bottom layer too. Oh, look at all this bling. I love finding all this sort of stuff from the op shops. Look at it all. Beautiful. Okay, we've got silver stuff and gold stuff down there too. And then from Witchcraft You Do had a sale, and I got all of these at their sale. They're just stunning. All these trims. And then I got all this sort of stuff. Look at this. Look at the leaf trim. Oh, it's just packed full, that box. So we'll probably use some of that layer, I think. I've also got beads. I've got these sorts of things that are bead caps. You could use things like that. And then on top of that, I've got all my sequins too. I've got all sorts of coloured sequins and beads that I can add to this as well. Oh, that's the same as this. All sorts of little things in there too. All right, I think we've got enough. So I think just at this stage we need to establish a front and a back, and then how big our cover is going to be. I might grab my disappearing pen and try and add a few lines on here so I can sort of see where not to go. It's very light, but I'll have a go at that. And then I sort of wanted this as the cover, I think, this side. So we don't want to go up higher than that and lower than that, because that's going to fold over like that. So I really love this purple leaf, and I was thinking of maybe making it a feature on the front here, and then finding some purple in here. Oh, look at this spoon in here. Isn't that gorgeous? And then where's the purple? Some of this purple braid, not braid, sequin stuff, and continuing like it's a piece of vine sort of thing from the purple maybe down to here or something like that. Okay, that could look nice on the front and sort of break up this dark area here. Look at this braid, how pretty is that? Look at that, it's so sparkly. There's so much I can put on here. It's almost that much that it's a tad overwhelming. So I want to bring these, that's going to be the half of here. So I want to bring these purples in to this, and I think that will look really pretty. Love this blue piece too, but we'll work on a few purple things I think today. Okay, I'm also working on this at the moment. This is going to be a shawl for my daughter's wedding, and because she's getting married in winter, it's a beautiful soft furry yarn, and it's got like a faux knitting in it, but it's all crochet. I think it's a puff V stitch that I'm doing, so I'm working on that at the moment too. Yeah, I'll grab my needle and thread. What am I going to use for thread? I might just use like a grey thread and just use it over all, so it sort of just blends in, and then that's going to save me chopping and changing all the time. Didn't really want to be chopping and changing all the time. Or I could put it there and make the purple go off somewhere else, or just make the purple whiz around the place. Sort of what my aim is to cover up all these joints with things like this, blingy things. That's the aim in here. So, well, let's just think about this, because that is going to come down here. Yeah, there's not going to be near as much black there, so maybe I'll put it there. Let's start there, and let's start getting something on here. Oh, gosh, I've been out this morning with the boys. We went shopping, and they were good little boys. I helped wrangle them while Mummy did some shopping, and they were being very good. Right, we've got that leaf on, which is quite pretty. I'll just check the fold in this. Okay, oh, nice. Right, and then we'll bring some of this sequin thread in, and we'll put some of that down too. Yeah. Attach it down. Okay, that's attached in a couple of different places, but I'll also just put a little bit of glue on this thread, I think, just to seal that up, and this all dries clear. Alright, and then we can go ahead and just finish the rest of the sequin thread. Okay, so we're just going to why don't we could put some beads or something down as we do that. Let's do that, because then you're just doubling up on yourself if you don't. Wondering whether they would look nice or got little leaves. They could look cool. Right, we've got our purple branch down. Doesn't that look pretty? Don't know if I'll put that on there now. So let's just have a look at it, fold it in half. Okay, so it'll go round to the back of the spine, or it'll be on the spine. But that looks nice, I like that. Let's have a look at this gold rickrack. I like that. I mean, I should have maybe put it underneath that, shouldn't I? Down that way. Oh, we can have a play with that. I might even fold it over to start it. See, when you use a grey thread, it blends in. You're not going to see that near as much as a coloured thread. So we've got some sparkly rickrack down there. Right, I'm going to switch over to some beading thread. Just got some yellow on. Right, we'll use our wax because that helps it go through our project easier. It gets no wax on your project, and then we will put some of these little beads and sequins on, I think. Right, we're going to put them on along here. So I'm just going to anchor this off on the back first. Because it's very hard to tie a knot in beading thread. And we're going to put some of these sequins. They're just gorgeous, look at them. They've just got the most pretty shine to them. So we'll put one of them on. And I want to see how these bright yellow ones look in it, just to bring out some colour. Yeah, they look pretty. So we'll go miss the bead and go back down through, and we might put a little row of flowers. Oh, that looks pretty along there. It's a little bit hard to see the gold rickrack, but when you change the light direction you can see it. There's this in here. It's not shiny, but it's sort of pretty fun looking. Look. It's got like lots of little tassels. Look. Yeah, there's a back and a front to that. That could look pretty along there. It's only just a little bit, it's only just that much. let's do that. I'll just cut off a little bit more than I need. Cut it off to there. I might put just a little spot of glue on that too so it doesn't unfray. There's my needle. And then bring it up. Right, we've got one little section all done. Check it out. Isn't that pretty? We've put the leaf on, this sequin branch going up here, the gold rickrack, and these flowers, and this little really cute little tassel trim. Isn't that pretty? Right, so let's fold it in half. Have a little look how that's going to look. We've got a gorgeous big purple thing right in the middle. But I'll put some more decorations around here anyway. Nice. We might even put a feature here. I'm not sure yet, but like I said, there's going to be about that much of that. Like if I fold that back now, it's going to be about there. So we might just, yeah, that'll be nice. Nice. Right, I hope you've enjoyed watching me do a little bit of stitching on this blinged up journal cover. I've just got so much bling stuff around me, so many choices to put on this, and like I said, this is all stuff. I'll bring you up a bit more. This is all stuff that I've found at the Opshop, just bar a few little bits and pieces, you know, that I have got from other places. Right, this is me for the day. Like, share and subscribe. I'd love to have you here with me on my channel. Look at this one. This is just, I get so distracted. There's just so much pretty stuff on this desk. I might even bring this yellow one up here, up along there. I think that would look pretty with some beads in the middle of that flower. That could look gorgeous. Yeah. Oh, the mind boggles. Alright, like I said, like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell button to get notifications when I put a video up, and I will see you soon for a new video, new make. In the meantime, take care and stay crafty. Bye.